to go back to Adobe Acrobat today, and we're going to go in there and look at another tool, and it's called OCR. And if you don't know what OCR stands for, it's Optical Character Recognition. Why is it important? If you have documents, say you have like a month's worth of invoices, and you need to search for a certain invoice, and you need to find that invoice to see if it's been entered, to see if it has document numbers on it. You can search your PDFs with text in there by running OCR on your document. So what we're going to do first, I want to share my screen. And so what I have here is just a folder with some invoices in it. And I use invoices, but you could, it could be contracts, it could be any document, it could be your inventory, it could be anything that you want to search, to be able to search the text of it. So in here, I've got a bunch of invoices. And the first thing we want to do is make this one document. So this is like a bunch of invoices that have been processed, and it's not like a full month's worth, so I don't want to overwhelm you with the running of the OCR because it takes a little bit. So what we want to do first is highlight all these, and we're going to right click and say combine files in Acrobat and pull it over here. And so it's got all these different files in here, and you're just going to hit combine, and it's going to make it into one document. I want to save this. Let me save this as example 2 because I've got one already that I've run, so we won't have to wait for the OCR to run. Okay, so once you have this all as one document, the tools, OCR tools in the tools right here, scan and OCR. So if you click on that, some little tools come up here, and what we want is recognize text. We want to be able to see that text as text and not as image. If you're not aware, when you have a PDF scan, it is automatically set as an image. So it's like a picture, a photo. So it doesn't read the text. So we have to make it read the text. So we're going to click recognize text, and we're going to say in this file, and we're going to click on recognize text. I'm not going to do it right here because it does take a few minutes and I don't want to waste time doing that. So I've already got one already set up for that. So I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to open the one that I've already ran the OCR on. Okay, so now we have this image, and it's been OCR'd, so it actually reads the text. So you notice, sometimes when you highlight something you want to highlight on your PDF, say for travel or whatever you're using it for, and you try to highlight it, it gives you a big bubble around it instead of like actually seeing the lines where the words are. OCR solves that problem too. So now it sees that there are lines of text here and it recognizes them. So when you want to search them, all you have to do is there's a little search magnification glass right there. And say I'm looking for an invoice and I know the amount of the invoice, so I need to check to see if it's been processed in Iris. So I'm going to put the amount in here, and it's going to find it in all these documents, and see it shows it right here. And if there are other ones with that same amount, it'll find it. This happens to be the paperwork that came with the invoice to tell us what it was for. So, and if there's any other instances of it, then it'll show us. But if it doesn't, it'll say it's searched the document, there's no more matches found. And so we know that invoice right here, that's the one we're looking for. And we know it's been processed because it has document numbers on it. So this helps you with just about any kind of document, any kind of text, but I will say that there is one downfall to this. If you have handwritten text on your documents, it will not search that handwritten text. It does not read that as text. If you have really, really neat handwriting, it might, but most circumstances it doesn't. So as an example, let me put a GL account in here, and we're going to search for that, and it's going to pull it up every time that it shows up in this as a typed text. You can see that. But if we go back to the top of this document, this very first one, you can see that there's 46200 down here, but it was handwritten and it did not find that one. So that is a downside to this. I would say, use those stamps we learned about last time. Use those stamps and type it in with Adobe rather than handwriting on it, because it will read it. And this will save you time looking for things. If you save your documents in OneDrive or Google Drive, like here's the screen, I've got one open. You can search for the document by the name of the document. So let's say I'm looking for those OCR files that I've ran. It's going to pull up anything that has OCR in it. But say you want to search for something, you can search for the name, but it doesn't search the actual text in the document. So this is the way around that. So if you've OCR'd it, it will recognize the text. You can search the text for something specific and find it easily. This really comes in handy if you have large amounts of documents. We put mail services stuff into a system for them. Their billing that comes out to you guys when you pay your bills. And so we have records of all the FedEx and UPS charges that come in. And I've got this one on my desktop here. This one right here is over 500 pages. So if we wanted to find a specific piece of mail that went out by the tracking number, we can find it very quickly and easily rather than searching through 500 and some odd pages to try to find that document number. So this can save you time and effort in finding anything that you need to find in a PDF. I will say that sometimes if you have, like I'll open this and show this to you. So it looks like gobbledygook right now to you guys. There's these tracking numbers. This is what we're looking for when we're searching this document. But as you can see, there's lots of them and they're really tiny. And I'll tell you that it has a Z in the document in the tracking numbers. See there? We put a 2 in there because it always reads as a 2 in the OCR. I'm not sure why. So there are, some hesitations in here that you have to figure out, like putting a 2 in place of Z if it's not finding the Z. But you could always just use the last sequence of numbers to find something like this. But for us, it was a huge time saver because we were going through these either by hand, the paper copies, or by scan page by page and trying to find these, numbers just to make sure that the billing was correct on them. So it took a long time to run the OCR on it, but the 5 minutes it took saved us, days of work searching through these documents.